everybody. You are here with your girl, LC, Latoya Riggins, host of All Things Craft. And we are on a little segment of the Craft Cafe with our conversations with craft members. And we're here with one of my favorite all-time craft members, Diane Gardner. How you doing, Diane?
Doing fine, Latoya. How are you this morning?
I'm doing wonderful. I'm so glad to be here. I was just reflecting that this is 2025, and when I think of craft, you are definitely a poster child for craft, Diane.
Oh, thank you.
And I just want to congratulate you on your recent graduation of the Wave Lab, our first Wave Accounting Lab. And not only were you a graduate of that cohort, that first cohort, a pioneer, to say the least.
Pioneer.
yeah, you are a pioneer, because that was the first time that we did that. You know what I mean? And you not only, I want to commend you, because not only were you the first person to sign up, you were the first person to come to class as well. And you came to every single, we had an orientation, and then we had 3 major sessions. You came to every single one of them. And you stayed from the beginning to the end. I have the records, because I looked through all of that. And, this was the first time that we did a lot of things this year. This is the first time when we made a fundraising pledge with our craft executive folks and the nonprofits and things like that. We really put a focus on fundraising. And with the Wave Lab, we were able to offer $1,000 grant. Not only were you the first to submit your application, but you actually won that grant. So
very exciting.
Yeah, and that's the first time we ever did it, because we definitely help people fundraise, but this was our first time actually being the fundor. You know what I'm saying? Fundor. I was like fundor to sound fun like that. So I'm really excited about that, and I'm excited that it was you who won it, because it just goes to show like what all of the things that you learned in craft, you put it into good use and saw the fruits of it. So I'm just excited. I want to take it back, Diane. So how did you even first get involved with Craft by Better Futures? Like, what was your first encounter?
Better Futures was during the pandemic. It was the NAFCC conference.
Sounds about right.
And I was recording the things that he did, because I couldn't get in his class. I had already was in the class. I think it was pandemic, but anyway, I went and I was in my room one night, and I was just listening to the webinar. And I was like, wow, this man is really good. And this was Jahi Davis. And I was like, boy, I shouldn't have went to that other class. And I'm kind of mad with myself. I should have went to his class, because that's what I need really bad. And just his mannerism, and him and Dr. Gunther, the things that they were, sharing, that I called back my friends and say, we missing this man who can do more for us, because we were equipped and we were just learning our infant stage, where we going, how we going to help providers. So I had talked to our vice president, which is Adrian Briggs. And I said, Adrian, we need to get this man. I don't know him that well, but somehow we need to get him and bring him to our team, and the rest is history. So he came, and I was like, I'm so impressed. And he's like, I'm sure I can. I called him, and he was just so nice. I'll come, I don't have a problem. We booked him, and then I didn't realize how many people already knew him, but it was new to me.
Oh, wow.
And so from that point, it's history. He's been helping us out in everything we've done, galas, everything. So we appreciate being his contact person.
I love that story, because when I got into craft, that's how I learned about the Wave, the Wave accounting system. And I was, a beginning entrepreneur trying to, get my life together. I was actually teaching entrepreneurship, so I understood the concepts of it, but I didn't know there was a system that could do this. You know what I mean? Other than QuickBooks. Like, I only knew QuickBooks, and that was like foreign language. But you said something, I want to just go back for the people watching, just to kind of give you a background on Ms. Diane here, because she is a family childcare business owner for over, how many years? 30 years? 40 years?
No. 26.
26. Listen, I go in. I know you just celebrated 50 years of marriage. So I figured, you might have been doing it 50 years,
No,
married 50
I was
years.
a citizens of the streets, business supervisor, not little children. But although little children have always been my passion in life to take care of little children.
How
So,
did you even get into childcare? Because so you said 26 years.
oh wow. There was a business that said women's business for you want to get an education in business and open up a daycare. And so I could not find nobody to tell me about this program in the city of Philadelphia. I would ask people, they ain't never heard of it. So at the time, I was working for the American Red Cross, doing CPR and first aid with other students because I was like the scheduler. And this lady said something about childcare. Well, my brain just lit up. I'm like, what do you mean childcare? She said, yeah, we do this and we train people to come. I went down there so fast and started taking classes. And then I just turned my resignation in. I changed my
Really? Just
house
like that?
because I wanted this. I would walk the streets and say, take my kids to school just like you see parents now.
Mhm.
And I said, one day I'm not gonna be walking my kids to school. I'm gonna have them in my center or whatever I choose. And so after that, I went through all the processing through women's business development, great instructors. And then all of a sudden I was opening up my business. And it was just like, it was God, because I went from getting my license, getting all the other things that you needed, your lights and everything checked out.
Mm-hmm.
And no struggles. It was just one, after I needed that, the instructors told me, okay, now you need to get this, get that. And it just had a grand opening. Everybody was excited. They was like, we're so happy you leaving here because you're wasting your talents. And but the thing about it, after I left, they closed the part that I was working in.
Wow, really? Look at God.
I was a scheduler. Nobody could keep up the schedule. So out of sarcasm, you know how you go back and visit your old job.
Mm-hmm.
And I met the girl who was doing my job. So she got smart. And she's like, oh, you are the infamous Diane Gardner that nobody can change things around here and make place. And like I said, excuse me, who are you? She told me, I said, oh, don't feel that way. You have to grow to this.
I know that's right.
You have to grow to this. And she couldn't keep up. And then I heard they closed the department. But I was just being me.
Hey, excellent on you, just a little bit of excellence. So you always was a go-getter. Like I see it, I want it, I'm getting it. And I'm trying to do it. Wow. See, that's what I love to hear, because that inspires me, because I consider myself a go-getter, but I always could go get better. You know what I mean? So so you got into it. Let me ask you this, because one of the things that people say, that people like you, that the younger you that said, I want to have this, but they say, well, I don't know how I'm going to do it because I don't have the money. Did you have to take out loans? How did you get started, like financially?
No money came out of my pocket.
Really?
Nope. No
So
money.
you just opened.
I opened, but this was opportunity time. It's harder now.
It is.
On some things that I see childcare providers go through. And even though they're getting funding and select, but these were things that was offered to us. And I didn't really have to pay any, not that I recall, I'll put it like that. If it wasn't that much money. So we had some great instructors that I met, and my license went through. You get little things like that, that's a given. You have to pay for it, but I didn't have any of those issues.
Oh my goodness.
So in a matter of, I want to say maybe 6 months to a year, I was up and running.
Wow, that sounds amazing. So let me ask you this. Now, with your career and 26 years, when did you start getting into QUIP? And for y'all that never heard of QUIP, that's the Quality Influential Professionals. That's the Childcare Association, and out of Philadelphia. Really, they national, but they are headquarters in Pennsylvania, in Philadelphia. Shout out to Philly. He's from Philly, so he loves all of this. And she's one of the leaders of that organization. So I want to know, how did you because Adrian Briggs is my baby, and that's your right hand woman. So I want to know, like, how'd you even get into that? Did you already know Adrian beforehand, or like, how did that even come about? Like, quit? Did you
Yes,
start that?
we as providers met every month, just like we do now. But this was going from house to house.
Really? Y'all
So
would
I would host one week, they would host. Anybody in that learning circle could be a hostess. So we would go to do that. And then I think pandemic came. I'm not sure what broke it down, but we just decided we still going to stick together. We need each other. So, and because we need each other, we just go. You go to the whole setup was you would go to a provider's house, and they would be the hostess. We would give them what I call a love gift for just opening up your home, and that was a way to get ideas of what to do. Say, hey, I like that. I'm gonna try that in my program.
a
Hey, can
love
we do this
gift?
together? Can you show me that? So we were like, they were formerly known as the Learning Circle, and that's how I got in. We went through Learning Circle. We had Kendra Thomas teaching us, all the rules and the regulations of being in a childcare field. So after that, and then we would just go to each other's houses or pick a friend closer to you. I'm gonna come over, we're gonna work on it together. So it was always an encouragement.
So from there, you guys made it into Quip.
It took some time, some process, but we had a good person on our side, which was Natalie Renew from Homegrown. She
Nice.
supported us as well. We
Great.
had, it was fate. It was for us to be doing these things because we made ourselves stronger. Um, Providers had an opportunity to come follow us. Not that we were so grand, but we were willing to help them
Yeah.
and connect and say, oh, you got a problem, we'll discuss it. Then we had keynote speakers, and Jahi was one of them.
Yeah.
He was one of our keynote speakers. And that just what the camaraderie among the providers up. And they was like, hey, and then they start passing the word. And then other organizations heard about us and they helped and support us. So we've had a lot of great support from different vendors to support us and have us to grow as to be in who we are now. We are now 501c3,
I
which
love that.
many are not. But it's just sharing resources. Just what can I do to help you to come up? Share each other's name, numbers. Okay, maybe I don't live near you. Someone else can do it. But we have them on Zoom. Everything is on Zoom, so we can even do that.
I love that. So when you first started out as a learning circle, about how many of y'all was it?
I want to think about 65 or something like that.
Damn, really?
Yeah, I mean, everybody didn't come to the meeting every week, but
I was gonna say
yeah.
that's a lot of people in one house, but either way,
Mhm.
that's still a good, strong group.
But
So we're like
but
around
we
where y'all at now?
we did it ourselves. We
Yeah,
didn't we just pulled up the wealth that we had and we started sharing trainings and doing ECE and industries. So like working with Adrian and Natalie, that's a great help.
yeah.
Like it was new to me. That Adrian's been in it for years. So I think she just celebrated 36 or something like that. So when she sees this, she's probably gonna tell me, don't tell my business.
I remember when she was 31, I used to call Baskin Robbins.
Oh, okay.
31 years. That's how long she's been around me. Is now 36. Oh, wow. I
Mm.
feel so honored to be in this presence of you guys. When I first started working with you on marketing, you and Adrian was in. I started working in Philly first, so like you guys were in the first pool of clients that I've ever worked with when I started consulting. And your wisdom, you made me feel so comfortable, and I was so impressed with your background and how long you've been in business and just what you've been able to achieve. And y'all let us watching at home. One thing I'll tell you, I've been to quite a few of their monthly meetings, and I was so impressed because a lot of times I get invited to so many meetings, y'all, and you would think that I would be all meetinged out, especially on Zoom, but I'm not, because you never know what's gonna happen in the meeting. But there have been some meetings where I'm just like waiting for it to be over. I'm off camera, all of that, disengaged, but not with quit meetings. Yeah, I know. I don't even. I'll be like, I'm not even supposed to be here, and I'm on camera. I'm like, no, why am I up there on the front? But that's because I'm so engaged. And the thing that I love about your meetings, Diane, is the fact that y'all be bringing like the real government officials to really answer the question from the people. And like when there's new ordinance coming down and new regulations, y'all call the actual legislators and I don't know the names of the titles, y'all, so forgive me, but when there be official government people that bring the rules, they bring
from out there, all the officials, all
the people that you gotta really talk to. And this is unheard of, you guys, because when it comes to, I always consider myself a little Martin Luther King, a little activist inside. So I feel like people like us that want to make change, we really don't know what to do, who to talk to, but y'all put it right in your face and say, hey, y'all got any questions? So it's not about us, just saying that we talk to them. We're bringing them in front of you guys so y'all can talk to them too. All the questions, they can lay it out. What's going to happen? What does it mean for family childcare? And now while we're talking about family childcare, you guys, as you can see, this is our limited edition craft family mug. We have a signature craft mug, but this is our limited edition that we dedicated to family childcare, because family childcare is the backbone of America and the whole world, but definitely America and American workforce. It's the workforce behind the workforce. And we always do a tribute to family childcare, Diane, because you guys are the octopus, the one-man band man. You guys get in there and you pretty much don't ever get days off, because that's what family means. Family doesn't stop, it doesn't end, and it doesn't even stop with the kids. The work that you guys do for families, and to put look bags out there. You guys do all kind of drives and community events.
Speaking of our event tomorrow,
can you talk about that real quick?
Tomorrow is our annual barbecue, which we go to one of our provider's house, which Nellie Delagar has a beautiful backyard, and we have the biggest barbecue. Everybody is invited. We have to have at least about 50 people or more that comes and shares. And that's another great thing. You can bring your excess. Providers tend to buy a lot of stuff. And after a while, they don't need it, and they bring. So they bring it and they share it. And if you want it, you can have it. It's no cost. It's just, I don't use it anymore. You can have it.
You have something to pick it up with.
Something like that. And then in going with that, we have still presenters or somebody that's coming through that's new. And this is their first time being with all these people. They get to make partnerships with someone else for themselves. So that's a problem. And then we have our annual gala, which you guys, I shouldn't say you guys, which.
Well, we guys, Better Futures Craft and Better Futures team. I loved it.
Which Craft took part in. Jahi was our first recipient, and he was impressed. He's like, how did y'all do this with no money?
It was nice.
It was like no money. I was like, okay, we did it. We didn't think about money. Things just rolled over, and it came out very elegant.
It was very elegant. And I'm still going crazy over them crab balls, y'all. I can't forget them. They was so good. I don't know how many I had, but I had a bunch of them.
That was a rare, because that particular venue went out of business, and I knew the lady, so she poured her whole heart out into this to make sure everything was in there. And
that was a beautiful venue.
That location is closed now.
Oh, that was beautiful. It had the bar in the back. It was like separate. The entrance was beautiful.
She poured out everything. I didn't know she was leaving, but she pulled out everything that she had, because I learned about her from my church, because we have galas. Galas all the time. But I said, can you do that for us? She said, sure. And me and our niece went down there and worked and told her what we wanted. And it came out very elegant. So this year we're not having one, but we're holding on for the hang tight. We got something in the works.
Oh, that's right. And I'm gonna put that on my calendar when y'all give me the date, so I can be there at that one.
Okay.
And Anise is another one. That's another thing. When I went to the gala, it was so funny because I had no idea that I knew so many people in Quip. Cause I was seeing people like, what you doing here? How you know them? Like I feel like you and Adrian are mine. So I'm like, how you know my Diane? And they like, I want to Quip. I'm like, you know them too? Like what? I was so excited to see so many people. Shout out to Talana Coleman. I'm seeing her and her husband there. Anise, she was somebody I followed on Instagram. I actually used to use her Instagram videos in my marketing examples. Because you know, when I do my classes, I do real world stuff. I go on the internet in real time in my classes. Like, let's go see, let me show y'all something that's cute or something that's a good example of, because people are like, what should it look like? And I would show Anise's videos of her center. She would do little tour videos and I would use it. So when I saw, I was like, wait a minute, I know you. So I was just like, wow. So to see you guys all come together like that and, you know, kind of one to twin activate, all of that, you know, it was like the Avengers. I was referred to like the superheroes because, you know, they all have their own talents and powers. They come together to save the world. And that's what you guys do. Save the families, the children. So now let's get back to this craft journey because I you know, I can go on forever with but so you started out, you know, doing the classes. You said you missed the webinar and you brought Jahi into Quip to do some professional development, or was it based around accounting?
Accounting.
Okay.
Because that's what he was bringing out, you know, how to do the accounting part and the pieces. And then he, if I remember correctly, he asked what else we needed as far as materials. Okay, so people start going to craft, but some people had already been in craft meetings.
Yeah.
They had already knew about him, I guess, from the trainings. I don't know, but I just was impressed so much that I like, Adrian, do you know him? So she's like, no. And so I said, oh, I'm going to call.
Well, I'm glad you did. I'm glad you did. Because, you know, when I started with craft, we were doing craft for free. We didn't have any membership fees. We were just giving the classes out. We wanted to get the word out there, you know, and we wanted to test out our material too. So we wanted to see if people need this, if, you know, and really to see what people need. That's why we're big on surveys, asking what is it that people really have been challenged with. So we can, if we don't know how to do it, we're going to bring somebody who does, you know? So when it came to the memberships, that was a way of kind of creating like that circle of, what do they call it? It's like it's a circle of practice. That's what Dr. Gunley. Shout out to Dr. Robbie Gunley. He's one of the founders of Better Future.
Yeah.
And he always talk about a circle of practice because, you know, just like you guys were having a circle of practice pretty much with even now, but definitely the beginning stages of Quip when you were calling it the learning circle, you know, and we wanted to have a place where not just educators, but businesses, because a lot of times you guys are looked at as educators because that's the top priority. But what people don't really see is you guys are business owners, you know, and that part of ECE, they don't really talk about that, you know, that most people who are educators run their own business and they're not teaching you about how to run a business. So we had that collide. And with the membership, it taught us more about the industry and the different layers. And that's when family childcare became a focus for us, because what we noticed is a lot of people taking those classes were in family childcare. And a lot of the material out there is not geared toward family childcare or the business model that lies in family childcare. That's totally different from these big centers or these multi-sites or these franchises.
Correct.
Dealing with a home, even the taxes are different on what you can claim. You know what I mean? Like it's so intricate.
Oh, it's very
intricate. And people don't even get that deep, Diane. You know that. They don't even get that deep to see. So you know, like lawmakers and legislators and people who do budgets, they definitely not getting into that. So that's why it's important for us to talk more about what that looks like and the experiences that we're having, and all of the family childcare leaders, you know, empowering you guys with all of the tools that you're going to need to change the trajectory of this industry, because it's opening the doors for, like you said, the new generation of business owners. And like you said, it's a lot harder now. They have all these red tape, these layers and licenses and everything. So when you got into, what do you remember when you became a Fisher Craft member?
I really don't.
That's how long it's been, right? Well, I know that you've been through so many of our C's. You guys, our C's are the different connections to craft. You know, you've definitely been a craft member. You've seen you were there for the launch of Craft Family in 2021 is when we launched it at the NAFCC. We did in New Orleans. And
Right. I knew you guys. I knew you were in New Orleans. Yeah.
yeah, so you were already on board by then. So that was
Right.
when we created the lane for Craft Family, which that's why I'm so proud of this mug. I had to do something. You see, it's kind of rustic, you know, but it is definitely ode to you guys. And what we did was we came in and started talking about retirement. And that's one thing that in business, especially when you are an entrepreneur, you just trying to pay your bills for real. So a lot of times you're not really even there yet to think about retirement or think that it's for you, especially if you're of a certain age, you think that you missed the mark. And one thing Jahi was able to do was reimagine that. You know what I mean? Say, no, that's not the end. Let's look at this. You still can do this, you know? So it's really about the empowerment. So tell me about, you know, with your business over the time, that's been what you've been doing craft like 5 or 6 years. So you've been there since about 5 or 6 years because the pandemic was what 5 years ago.
Yeah.
So in that time, what has your business been through? And how has craft either helped, supported, or you know, gave you any insight into moving forward?
Moving forward, let's go to craft. It was showing you the breakdown of your money and what you should do. Some things I let slip, I'll say me personally, because I had an accountant. And when I got in the business and seen that I had to do all these things, I just hurry up, put it on a spreadsheet, and took it to him. But then I realized lately, in the later years, there's some things he may have been missing, or he did it another way that I don't see it in my work. So now I'm going back to like ground zero, trying to get it, make sure it's right. Some things I've heard, but I put my confidence in the accounting that I had. I didn't have to pay nothing, no taxes and all that other stuff. But now things has changed. Rest his soul, he's passed away. But that's only been a year and a half maybe now. But I'm seeing where some of the things that he may have known how to fix and cover up, I have to now find someone that knows it just as well.
Yeah.
So finding someone that knows all the parts that pertains to family childcare provider is a big difference.
Yeah.
Because we have it in our homes. And there's some things that the cities don't allow you to get brownie points, as they say, for having it in your home. No. So that's another tool that we are always advocating for. And as you say, looking at retirement and so forth like that, if you've been working all these long years and haven't built any retirement, what do you do?
Right.
What do you do?
Sometimes you don't know
you don't know which way to go, which way to turn. Right. So there's always something in the works we're looking at that, because there's a lot of providers, especially family providers.
Yeah.
That they wasn't making enough to pay themselves. Now you want me to save for retirement? That's a hard task. Either I'm gonna be retiree or I'm gonna be a worker or what, something.
Feels like you don't have enough. And that's why I'm, you know, with craft, one of the things that we do is we have those budgeting tools so that you can budget your money to create what you need, you know, and the fundraising piece. And also the tools like the our what do we call it? I'm catching a brain fart. Chart of accounts. One of the things when it comes to taxes, that's why shout out to the Childcare Tax Pros, that's our partners, where they specialize in childcare taxes. They were actually part of the Craft All Stars for the Wave Accounting Lab that Diane attended. And they, you know, are really good at giving you that insight on how to clean it up. They're good at amending things. They're actually EAs, enrolled agents. So they can actually represent you in court, y'all. So we always, this is why we do this, Diane, because over the years, like you're saying, we're hearing the feedback, we're getting the questions, we get the surveys, we actually read them, we go through every single survey that we get, and we lay them out on the concerns or the questions, and that's how we shape the sessions on craft and what comes out. And when we do conferences, like you said, when we did that retirement class in 2021, that we had to blow it up because NAFCC actually asked us to repeat it the next day because the room was so packed. Shout out to what's her name? I'm just losing it right now.
That's okay. I've been there. It'll come back.
That's my girl, Mary Line. Okay, we will always be bonded because she was in that class. She was doing the monitors, doing the you have to do the attendance and so people get their credit. She was the person doing that, and I was obviously there to support Better Futures. The room was so packed. We had to guard the door. It was people sitting all over the floor, standing room only. We couldn't let another person into that classroom, and people were mad. And I was like, this is serious, like, because people they needed this information, you know what I mean? So we did it again. They gave us a bigger room. And then that's when we started Spanish. We started putting in Spanish because we had people that were there that didn't speak English that wanted to know. Bottom line is, when it comes to craft, we listen and we want to hear the things that you need. So now when it comes to your business, you said that you were able to get your finances in a way that, you understood it. Now, like you said, God rest your soul with your tax accounting passing away, and those things happen in life. That's why,
So this is when I got into craft live and
start
looking at the way it is, hearing it more. Not that I didn't hear it before, but it just like I don't need to work stress on that. That's what I'm paying him for.
Right.
But now I'm paying more attention about time and space and all of that kind of things. So that's when I went to the Wave craft Waves accounting lab, so that I could see it for myself what they were talking about. And I would me do not like computers that much, just being straight. But I had to learn how to maneuver it so that I could put it in, and then like put in all line items, how in Wave you can bunch them together. You don't have to make, oh, this is elected and what the company, all like that, break it down line by line. This is all utilities.
Yeah.
This is all food. These are the things that you don't even have to go through. It's just already there. Once you build up your categories, you just click and it's kind of done. Yeah.
I love that. And I love your resilience because I know you went through the regular boot camp. Now we taught Wave, and we teach Wave in a few different ways. Our original way was in a class. It was a series where we did a 3-part series in a class. That just wasn't enough. That's when we created the boot camp, where we did it on Saturdays, and we did once a month. We had a 2-hour class, and we did the application on site while you're on the computer for a little while, for 2 hours, and then you did one-on-ones to really dig in and simplify with your specific situation. You would be able to sit with Jahi by yourself, and that was going well. But the thing is, you guys are so busy to do the one-on-ones, and that's when we created the Wave Lab, where you got it done in a month. We did consecutive weekends where you sat in and you did it in real time in the session. So you don't have to do any one-on-ones, no extra time. You get it done, and that you set that time aside and get it done. And you, like I said, you got it done, Diane, and you came back and you nailed it. Like you keep coming back because you know it already. It's like you come back to refresh and learn more.
Refresh all the time. But I had to refresh myself. The entities and the duties is really long on my list. So I had to go back and say, okay, now how do you do this again? I am doing it, and I'm building the confidence that I can do it. But then I always got my crutch there. Like, how did I used to do this? Let me pull it back up so that I can see what I need to do to make it a smooth transition. That
sounds good. Well, the last thing I want to hear from you is, can you tell me what are some craft classes that might have changed your perspective on some things, or what are the most memorable craft classes that really, changed a perspective for you, or made you feel a certain type of way, or empowered, or whatever? You just tell me, like, some classes that stood out to you.
What stood out? All of them really. Every one of them got a bookmark on it. Like, okay, I gotta keep on checking this. And the phone. Hold on a second.
Huh? You said you have footnotes?
I don't know.
You're like, I can't think of that.
Clicking. Yeah, this phone.
Oh, you said your phone.
I'm just cutting it off.
Oh, it's ringing. See, she's in business right now, you guys. That's the thing. Everybody's always working, and that's okay, but that's why I appreciate you guys, taking time out to sit with me and all of that good stuff, because I know that it's hectic.
Yeah. Okay, so back to our question.
Yeah.
Just can refresh my mind again, please.
Oh, I said, do you have any classes that, you don't have to know the name of them, but what, like the topic, what it is about that really struck you or changed your thought process about something, maybe enlightened you, or just something that just really.
Knowing that, well, one, I do press to try to do it every day. It was really nice sitting in there doing whatever we was doing on Saturdays. But then when you leave Saturday, you have to build your own resilience to do the work again.
Mm-hmm.
And I was doing good and I kind of slipped. But then what I also liked and took away, if you are in a crunch and can't really figure it out, you can always call back to prayer.
Yeah.
You can always call back. Because I was like, when I called Jahi, I'll be like, it's me. I don't want to say I'm about to cry, but just that he's like, oh no, you good. You can just, what's the problem? Like that. A couple of times I had to call him. And he just brought the spirit down. It's like, okay, it's going to be okay. Because I'll be like, put myself in a panic attack quickly. But even with you, it's like, you did good. You did good. Sometimes that's all providers need, is that encouragement, say you're doing good. Mm-hmm. Because there's so many things, the steps and the place that we are in and trying to maintain even a family life for some providers. It's hard. People say it's easy, you just come here and I'll be your friend and I'll help you. But if you are not confident in yourself in doing it, then there's no point, because people can show you something all the time. Until you embrace it for yourself, you can't get it. And it's not going to always be a good day, but at least you have something to go back on and draw you back into alignment of where you need to be.
I love that. So as a business owner, let me give you like a little scale from like 1 to 10. We're going to do a comparison from before you got with craft. Where did you see your confidence as far as in business versus now? So let's start with before, and then we're going to go after. Like, what would you say on a scale of 1 to 10? How did you feel with your business knowledge and confidence with your business before craft?
I felt like I was a 10. But when I came to craft, I realized I was like 8, because there were so many points that I did not take advantage of, because I was just going on happy-go-lucky. But then when reality check came in, you saw some of the things that you weren't really looking at, like taxes and all of that. And even with age, I'm like, well, did they got to take all my money? So you had to learn to budget and know why they're taking it. Oh, different. And it's no secret. Social Security's taking your money.
They want
no secret, but you don't plan on that budget or not. Another shocker was probably like, you get a stipend, you have to pay those taxes out of there.
Yeah.
So those are little things that they may say it, but it doesn't register until you get a letter saying you pay this or you go ahead and make a payment plan, something.
Right, you got to learn hard way.
You got to learn hard way. Yeah. Exactly. I like that. So that's those things, but you can always go back and refresh your memory. And there's always help out there. As Jahi said, you can call me, because I'm like, I'm not going to call you anymore. I promise. I got it this time. He's like, it's not a problem. You can call.
Not. I love hearing from you. So never feel like that. But I like that you was already an 8. So that's one of the things that we like to say here at Craft is you don't have to be sick to get better, you know, because our members are not like down in the dumps and they don't know what they're gonna do. No, our members be great leaders. They just want to do even more with what they have. So that's what I love about that. So you were 8 then. Where do you see yourself now?
I'm jumping on 10, but then there's some days that I be like brain fog kicking in.
That's normal. I think it's safe to say you're 10. I was hoping you was gonna say 11.
Oh, I thought it was from 10, from 1 to 10.
But you know, I wouldn't, you know, like,
Oh, you want me to oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
I apologize. I misunderstood. I was like, didn't you say 1 to 10? I was like,
I
am I
did, I
not?
did. No, but see, that's great. So that means you moved from an 8 to a 10 in this short time and of your confidence. And really that's what it takes. It's about the mindset because now not only will you do more, you're gonna receive more. And it's already paying off because like I said, when you apply, because I'm on the panel, I'm one of the Craft All Stars. I was one of the reviewers of your grant application. I tell you, Diane, it was an excellent application. And the purpose of that whole exercise that I put into that program was for you to not only use the knowledge that you learned in the program with the budgeting, but also the reporting piece. So you understood what was going to be asked of you. And all the questions that we asked you wasn't a bunch of questions. I think it was like three or four questions that you had to kind of answer and then show a budget. You answered every single question. You put the budget together. And now, guys, the grant was $1,000, the micro grant. But she didn't say, "Oh, well, I'm just gonna buy a new fridge," or she itemized all the different things. She made that daggone $1,000 stretch. You know, like what she was gonna use it for. And now what she has is a blueprint and a template for the next grant. You know what I mean? And she won that grant. So it should be coming by the 15th. You should be getting your money.
It's okay. It's okay.
It's
You
about,
still give me time to build up. It's okay.
yeah, you know. But you have a blueprint. You can take that same application and proposal and use it on another grant for $10,000 or $100,000. You know, and people don't realize you don't have to be a nonprofit to apply for grants, you guys. There's some grants that only go to nonprofits because that's what they're into, but there's so many grants, especially for businesses, okay, especially for minority businesses, women-owned businesses, Black-owned businesses. And now, even though, you know, they got all the regulations with Trump and everything, that don't have nothing to do with people that want to invest in your business, okay? So don't discount yourself. And that's what we do at Craft. We want to make sure that we are building up the leadership portion. And let me ask you this. Tell me about before we end, I want to know, how did it help you? How did Craft help you with your leadership with Quip? Because you know that's with your personal business, but with Quip, it's less about your personal business and more about community and helping the other businesses come up. So how did Craft help you with your leadership in Quip?
Leadership with Quip. I thought I was doing good, but it's like it's nothing that. How can I say that? I just keep promoting craft and Quip and getting into those things. That's always on our excuse me, on our agenda. So we talk about them, we encourage, we have Quip members. Adrian is our vice president, so she's on there, even bringing in gaps and board. And as far as me, I'm always pushing. Sorry, I'm getting choked up about craft.
Oh.
I just appreciate that they are using us, and we were taking part in the beginning initiatives, and we're never left out.
Yeah.
Or if they need something that's pertaining to the childcare sector, they always ask us. I've had Latoya call us, or Adrian will say, they asking us about this. You know, what do you think? So we work as a team. Teamwork is more important. There's no big I, no little you. It's teamwork, because I don't know it all. And if you know more, why are you holding the answers to what we need to grow?
Yeah.
And so since we're growing together, we don't have time to say, as they say, catty little things and petty. Just the goal is to help family childcare provide educators to grow more. And like you said, I've been in the beginning, I'm not no spring chicken. I know that. I'm not gonna be here forever. So who's gonna pick up the mantle?
Mm-hmm.
If you don't put it out there for them to look and see for themselves, to build it up, not being jealous or petty, just being business-minded women, because McDonald's don't care if you going to Burger King.
Right.
They don't care. They
Right.
both sell hamburgers, but they not fighting over that. They trying to make it better, but not to the point of it's going to cause a deception of we're going to burn your store down because our store is here.
Right.
So I don't engage myself in putting other providers down on what they do. We all are individuals. We all do the things in our own way, which is beautiful. So all you can do is either say, hey, can you show me that? That's all you can do.
I love that. Well, Diane, I'm so glad that you came into the cafe on this lovely day to share your wisdom and your knowledge. How can people get in touch with you and Quip?
Okay. I can drop it in the chat for you later on.
Yeah, well, you could.
You want to read it out
Y'all
like
got
here?
a website. You can just say it.
Yeah, we have. Okay, so Quip's email is quipforu@gmail.com.
Okay. So Quip for you. So that spells Quip for you.
Quip for you.
Okay.
At gmail.com.
At gmail.com. If you want to get in touch with us.
If you want to look at our website, it's QIPPA.org.
QIPPA.org. Yep, there you have it. Diane, thank you so much.
That is it. And we meet every Saturday.
And the
every
cookout
second
is
Saturday. Every second Saturday.
Every second Saturday of the month. And the cookout is this Saturday.
Yep.
All right.
And if anybody gets on the line and put in QIP, they can register right online.
Register online, QIPPA.org. All right, you guys. Diane, thank you so much for being
All right, you have a wonderful day.
Member. Yes, and have a great day. I will talk soon.
I'm sure we will talk.
Yes, we will.
Be blessed.
See you later. Okay, bye-bye.